In this video, we are going to be redrawing the international borders of the country of Argentina. So, let's get started. We're going to start pretty close to the capital of Buenos Aires, right here, that I'm zooming in on if you can see the mouse. But anyway, so this border with Uruguay right here, this, that I'm highlighting, this border right along here, it's pretty straightforward. It makes sense, but then there's this mess over here in this little village called Martin Garcia, and it's just really complicated. So in order to get here, you have to take a boat from way over here. Wow, this is a long line. Wow. So you have to go all the way from Buenos Aires through this uninhabited area just to get to this little island village. Wouldn't it make more sense if it was part of Uruguay? Because then you can just go from this town right here and then just take a little kayak or boat or canoe or something like that over here. But I don't know, that's just kind of how things played out. But the purpose of this video is to change those really weird things. So we're actually just going to make it really simple. We're just going to have the border continue like that, but yeah, just continue like that, and there's not going to be any line over here. The border's just going to go like this, and there's not going to be any sort of weird line splitting this island in half. It's just all going to be Uruguay, because that's just better for everyone, I think. I mean, maybe if you're in Argentina, you might not like that, but it just makes more sense. So this highlighted area is going to Uruguay. And moving on, we have a really confusing situation up here in the Misiones province. Actually, no, that's not. That's over here. What province is this? It's not. Oh, Corrientes province. It took a while to show up there. Anyway, so I see an immediate problem. It's that there's this random part of a lake with this tiny little island that's part of Argentina, but it's completely surrounded by Paraguay. I don't really understand why they did that. Well, I'm guessing when the border was drawn, maybe this whole thing that I'm circling with the mouse, or clicker, whatever you call that, maybe this whole thing was an island, but now it's not. So we're just gonna we're just gonna get rid of that. Or if Argentina really wants it so bad, then maybe we can just do something a little like this, sort of. Yeah, that could work, because, I don't know, it's just like a river with probably piranhas. So, then we have a couple. Oh wow, the river is actually called Piranha River. Yeah, so Paraguay's not really gonna care if they lose a bunch of stuff over here. So we have a bunch more of these little Argentina things in Paraguay that are just part of the river. But then we have something really confusing. There's this decent-sized island called Islas Apipe. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing that right. But anyway, this island is, and a bunch of other islands here too, actually. It's part of Argentina, but only the actual island itself, because the river around it is part of Paraguay. So this is just a mess. I'm not going to go over every single island individually. We're just going to make all of these islands. Well, they're already part of Argentina, but we're going to give Argentina the river too, because otherwise we're going to just be transferring a bunch of people to Paraguay that are Argentinians, and I don't want to do that. And, like, nobody lives in the river with piranhas because humans need oxygen to breathe. We don't have gills. I don't even know why I'm saying this. So I might be offending a bunch of people from Paraguay right now, but this is really just kind of for fun or entertainment purposes. And honestly, I don't really understand why you'd be mad, even if you're from Paraguay, because, like, all you're losing is just some water that apparently is filled with piranhas. And based on the satellite imagery of this map, it's not like it's clean or pristine water or anything. But anyway, that is our new borderline right there. It's pretty nice looking. I think it's better than it was. But we still have some more problems we have here. What is up with Argentina and its islands? I just don't get it. I guess Argentina really loves its islands. Which would explain the Falkland Islands dispute with the United Kingdom. Argentina just really wants its islands, and they're not gonna let the UK get their hands on some of their islands. So yeah, we have to do some more fixing here, and yeah, Argentina just really was not good at drawing its borders, because this is just a mess. I mean, like, the amount of lines I'm having to draw on this, it's just ridiculous. So yeah, there we have that, and then this whole Piranha River has these islands. You know what, instead of just redrawing all these borders, I'm just gonna say that all of these islands belong to Paraguay, just so that since they're surrounded by Paraguay, they should be part of Paraguay. So yeah, all the islands in the Piranha River that aren't on the southern half of the river are now part of Paraguay. That's my declaration right now. And now we have this, there's this little area by glacier down here in Patagonia, and I'm actually gonna switch it to the map version so that you can see. Yeah, so right here by this town, El Chalten, and by Estancia Helsingfors, by Lago Viedma. I don't know why I'm just naming all these places randomly, because that's irrelevant. So there's this big gap here in the border. It's because of a border dispute, and no, I'm not talking about this whole mess over here. We'll address that later. But I'm just talking about this, like, the border literally just ends. So, like, I kind of feel like maybe we should just kind of, like, have the border go like that, just to prove a point that, like, if there's no border, then we might as well just give all this to Chile. But then, like, I could also say that we should give this part of Chile to Argentina, because I have to be fair. So we're just gonna give it a simple fix, and we're going to keep this line going up through these mountains and have it form like an arc until it hits this lake, and then it's gonna go in, and then it's gonna go down through this little peninsula here, then it's gonna go across this lake, make another little arc, and then this lake is gonna get roughly split in half, and then we're just gonna draw a straight line until it gets to the Viedma Lake, and then another diagonal straight line, and then it's gonna go through this little, I guess that's a river. Yeah, what am I thinking? Of course that's a river. And, you know, since Argentina loves its islands so much, we're just gonna give them all the islands. So, sorry, Chile. Although Chile has a lot of islands, too. arguably more than Argentina does, at least ones of notable size. And yeah, the border's just gonna keep going through this little river. And I know this probably isn't perfect, but it's better than what they had before, because I mean, like, not having a border is even worse than having a complicated border, because how are you supposed to know where your country ends and where your neighbor country starts if there literally just isn't a border? Like, you could just keep going forever. And, like, if you're in Chile, you could go all the way across the continent to the Atlantic Ocean. And I guess you could arguably still be in Chile because he technically never crossed the border into Argentina. So yeah, that's kind of confusing. So, that's what I'm here for. I'm fixing that. And as you can see, the border just goes right there. So we're just gonna draw a straight line, and then we're gonna zoom out, and that border looks a lot better than the absence of one. And lastly, or last but not least, as I should say, because a lot of people say that, we are going to address this down here. So I think this whole thing, the Tierra del Fuego province in Argentina, I think that should go to Chile because it's connected to Chile and it's not connected by land, at least, to Argentina. So, like, how do you even get there from Argentina? Like, there's no boat over here or anything, so it's just kind of annoying. Like, and especially for the people who live here. I mean, I get that you might be, like, nationalist or proud of your country, but it's just a lot easier that if you're living in this little part of Argentina, instead of just kind of being isolated where you can't go anywhere without getting your passport or taking a ridiculously long boat ride over to the rest of your country, just have it be part of Chile, and then you can just go wherever you want without passports and no boats. But Argentina isn't going to get away with it that easily because Chile isn't. I'm getting confused. Chile isn't going to get away with it that easily because they're going to lose this little piece of coast that they took over here. And it's going to stop by this river. What's the name of that river? Rio del Condor. That's a bird, the Andean condor. So yeah, Chile's limit is going to be over here. But they're going to get Tierra del Fuego in compensation, which is not really fair to Argentina, but it's just kind of how things have to work. So the border is just going to go like that, and then we're all done. And before we end this video, I'm just going to address that, like, since this thing over here, that I had said that Chile was taking all of Argentina's coastline, sort of. I don't think that's what I said exactly, but Chile is clearly a master at that, because Chile's entire existence, based on the map, looks like it was just designed to just take all of Argentina's coastline. Like, Chile was just created just to upset Argentina. Like, they don't even have, like, inland. It's just like a line. It's just so long. There's no width at all. But I'm getting a little carried away here because this video was not about Chile, it was about Argentina. And as promised, the video is going to end in a few moments because those were all of the major fixings that I thought needed to be addressed. So I will see you in the next video. I hope you enjoyed this. See you next time.